Hey, 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 what's going on, beautiful people? Happy Thursday to you all. I hope that you're having an amazing day thus far. I know I totally am. I am fired up. I'm on 1,000 right now, son. I'm like on 1,000. So listen, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching me from this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you are in the world. Let me know who's here. Go ahead and comment below. After you've done that, go ahead and share this video because it's literally going to be something that I know is going to be powerful for a lot of people that will be watching me live and or the replay, right? So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my intro as I always do. My name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor, and I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So welcome, everyone. I literally just finished doing a team call, and every day, literally 7 days a week, my team and I meet together and we do our affirmations and we have a moment where we discuss personal development and inspiration. And so today's word of the day was to be exposed, right? To expose yourself to a certain type of lifestyle. And I titled this video, You Need to Be Exposed, because that's literally what needs to happen. Hey, Miss Carolyn, you need to be exposed to a lifestyle that you truly say you desire. There are certain things in life that will not seem realistic for you until you expose yourself to that type of lifestyle, until you expose yourself to that type of information. There are things that you need to do intentionally to put you where you want to go. Right? And so I look back on my life and I look at how I didn't even know that certain things were available to me. I didn't know that there were certain principles that actually rule the world, right? I was not aware of the principles that took place in life so that way I could be successful. I wasn't aware of the information that I needed in order to move a certain way. Like for me personally, growing up, I always thought that in order for me to be successful, I had to be either a nurse or a doctor like most of the people in my family. I didn't know that I could create a life by design. And so things did not start shifting for me until I exposed myself to certain things, until I exposed myself to a certain lifestyle. And I remember one of the first books that I literally exposed me to how the principles of life work in order to be successful was a book called The Science of Getting Rich. This book literally changed my life. I read that book in 48 hours. I could not put it down because as I was reading the book, I kept thinking to myself, how is it that I did not know any of this was available? Right? How is it that I didn't know that people actually thought this way? How is it that there are literally things that we should be doing on a day-to-day basis to create our lives? More importantly, how is it that I never knew I could actually create my life? See, most people are not aware that they can create their lives. In fact, we have been told since birth what to do. We've been told since birth what we can have, what we can't have. Our parents tell us that as children, right? In adolescence. We then go to school and our teachers tell us what to do. You go to college, your professors tell you what to do. And then you graduate. And then what happens? Well, then most of you go and get a job. So now you have a boss telling you what to do. So your entire life, you're told by other people how to live, never truly realizing that you have an opportunity, that you have the ability to create the life that you actually want. And so because we don't know that, we do what everyone else is doing. This is why exposure is imperative. Because when you expose yourself to new information, when you expose yourself to a certain lifestyle, you literally now know what's tangible for you. When you expose yourself to something, you can't just go back to your normal way of thinking, at least not for most people. The moment I exposed myself to an industry that showed me I could create my own lifestyle, things changed. That moment, I went to my very first personal development event, and I saw that there were people that were wealthy that actually loved God. I was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that you can actually be a real Christian and be a millionaire and still go to heaven? Because see, I didn't know that, right? I didn't know that. And the reason why I didn't know that for so long, I have been taught by people that we deem respectful, like pastors and leaders in spiritual world, that you had to either be rich or poor, but you couldn't be rich and go to heaven. Like they tell you the story of the rich young ruler, right? And so you listen to this information that is inaccurate, and now you base your life off of it, and then you miss out on the ability to create what you actually want. But when I exposed myself to those people and I watched how they interacted with other people, I watched the words that they spoke, I watched how they moved, I watched their belief, I then knew it was possible for me. I then knew that I could literally have whatever I wanted whenever I wanted because I saw somebody else doing it. You have to intentionally work towards success. Success is not something that happens by chance. Like so many people are hoping to be lucky, find money on the floor, win the lotto. That's not life. That's not the reality of things. Which is why when people do win the lottery, most of the time they lose it immediately because they have not made the mental shift, right? They were not intentional about what they were actually creating. And so there's a life that is literally waiting for you. And in you going towards that lifestyle, you're going to have to expose yourself to it. I remember literally going to neighborhoods and driving by houses that were like $1 million homes and saying to myself, okay, I'm going to have one of these houses. I remember going to car dealerships and test driving cars, knowing I had absolutely no money to get any of those cars. But I knew that I was tapping into spiritual principles that would allow for me to literally see myself where I was going and naturally be able to draw those opportunities my way. I remember literally investing thousands of dollars to go on retreats and masterminds, to be around wealthy people, to get the information that they had. Because I knew that they weren't better than me. They just had some information that I didn't have. They had some habits that I needed to adopt. That was the only difference. And if we could get to that place right there, where we realize that they are not better than us, but it's more so that they have information that you can tap into, then your life changes. But when you become so comfortable where you are and you don't even begin to aspire to intentionally be around other people that have what you want, you're going to find yourself where you are. And that's why you have to make it your business to literally be intentional by exposing yourself to a certain type of thinking, exposing yourself to a certain type of vibrational frequency where wealth resides. Everything that you want lives somewhere. It lives on a certain frequency. The problem is you're not tapped into it. You're too busy below dealing with the cares of life, dealing with all types of low vibrational frequency, low vibrational thinking. And so because that's what you're exposed to, because it's around most people, right? Most people are living that type of lifestyle. Most people have a limiting belief. And so if you're around most people that think that way, you naturally will become like that. It's scientifically proven. This is why you see wealthy people hang around wealthy people. Because it's a thing that they have in their mind. It's a movement. It's the information that they have. It's a frequency in which they vibrate on. Anybody else that's contrary to that is going to bring them down. And so this is why you intentionally pick your friends. Like, I don't understand how certain people have certain friends and they're like, oh, well, she's doing this and they do this and I don't mess with them. And they, why do you have all this drama in your life? That makes no sense. Family, you can't choose, right? You're born into that. Now you can choose how frequent you are around them, but you can't choose your family. Friends, you can choose. So if you're not being intentional about the friends that you have, What makes you think you're going to be intentional about your life? Get specific as to what you want in your life, and then expose yourself to that. Expose yourself to the information. Expose yourself to the feeling. How would it feel being in a luxury restaurant, a car, apartment? What would it feel like being exposed to that environment? What would it feel like being served by others? See, some of that thinking seems so foreign to some people. And we've been taught that way. Like I was sharing with my team earlier today, I had to really debunk the lies that I had in my mind about living a certain way, about having people work for me, about having people clean my home, cooking for me, and things of that sort. I had to debunk what I was told, or the statistics of what kind of person does things like that. Because a lot of us, we say we want wealth, we say we want more, but we're really not allowing ourselves to attract that because we have these limiting beliefs that are contrary to what we say we want. So we still have the voices of the people in our minds telling us, oh, well, all rich people are evil. Or, it's easier for a camel or to, it's easier for you to, a camel to go through a needle in order for you to get to heaven, right? They tell you things like that, take scripture out of context. You believe that. And so now you're conflicted about being wealthy and still loving God, right? And so you have to unlearn some things. You have to unlearn some things in order for you to get to where you really want to get to. And this is why exposure is so important. Because as you're exposing yourself to new environments, to new possibilities, naturally, you're allowing yourself to see new possibilities. You're allowing yourself to learn something new, to catch on to new behaviors, to catch on to new ways of doing things. And so today I want to charge you. I want to charge you to expose yourself to new environments. Expose yourself to the feeling of lavishness if that's what you want, right? Because that's not for everybody. Everybody doesn't necessarily want that. That's fine. But whatever you do want, expose yourself to it. Make it real for you. When I would go and test drive certain cars, I did that because I needed to feel what it would be like to drive a car like that. Your feeling matters in manifesting things and bringing your faith to life, right? Your subconscious mind does not know what is real and what is fake. And how do you know that? Well, perfect example. When you're sleeping and you have a dream and you wake up jumping out of your sleep as if somebody was chasing you, your body doesn't know that it's not really happening. You're sweating, your heart is palpitating, right? Because it felt real, because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. So it is with you creating a lifestyle of wealth and abundance in your mind. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference. And so it will correspond with your being to make you feel as if it's already done, and then brings and aligns you with opportunities and people to allow you to create just that. Expose yourself today to some books that can teach you what you need to know to get you to that next place, to tap into the spiritual principles that rule our world. Expose yourself around some millionaires to see how they do things, see how they speak. Whenever I'm around multimillionaires, I'm always watching. And it's not always just to hear and pick up what they're teaching, but sometimes it's literally watching how they do what they do, the behavior in which they have. It's a totally different type of flow than the average person. And it's not that they're better than anyone. It's simply the fact that they have a different level of consciousness. They think differently. There's a certain type of expectation that they have which then rules how they operate, how they speak, how they move. Watch people you hang around and look at your behavior. Does your behavior model that of the people that you're around? Does it model the behavior of what you say you want? Or is it consistent to your current lifestyle? If it's the latter, it's your duty to change it and be intentional about going after what you say you want. Intentionality is everything. Expose yourself to the neighborhood today. Expose yourself to what it will look like having your children in better schools. Expose yourself to someone who was created an orphanage if that's something that you want to do. Expose yourself today to the lifestyle that you want to literally create, knowing that you can create your lifestyle. You can create your lifestyle. God is the ultimate creator, and he made you just like him. So if God is the ultimate creator, certainly that means you can create also. So start speaking your words. Start seeing before you what you actually want and watch it happen. Because many of you will watch and witness the things that I've spoken for years happen in my life. You'll see it. You're going to see it. And you're going to realize that, dang, Sharita was right. She was right. She's been saying that for a while. I've been sharing these things with you all for years. Will you apply it is the question. But you're going to see the fruit in my life. And I hope to say the same for you. It's time to expose yourself to something new. It's time to expose yourself to the information that is needed. And it's time to expose yourself to the life that is truly waiting for you. It's waiting for you. Go get it. Make it happen. It's happening. It's happening right now for so many people. It might as well be you. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for watching this video. And I'm going to believe that you're going to apply what was shared today and that the testimonies will come through and seeing the manifestation of you doing the work. Listen, no one else is better than you. Just tap into that frequency. All right. Well, listen, I got to go. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to work with me, go ahead and inbox me and I can share with you how. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Be blessed.
I'm a millionaire, money better case it. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire. Get your money.